The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shaylin Herrick. I'm the Director of Marketing here at SOS Online Backup, and I am joined by John Wagner, our Chief Sales Engineer.
Good morning.
Can I please get a quick show of hands? And you can do that by typing in the questions tool. Let me know if you can hear me and if you can see my screen. And if we do have anyone on the line from any other SOS offices, please do mute your line. Okay, Spencer says you can hear me, but there's a little echo going on.
All right, we're going to fix the echo.
Yeah.
We'll start the webinar in about 2 minutes. Stand by.
Yeah, in the meantime, I am going to put a poll up on the screen so I can get a sense for who you guys are and who your customers are. So this question is, how many servers on average do each of your clients have? Okay, everybody, thank you all for your participation in the poll. I'm going to go ahead and close that now, and we'll get started. We definitely encourage you guys to ask questions, and we want this to be a really interactive webinar. And we do have a small group this morning, so we're happy to take questions throughout the webinar. And we're going to get started with some industry information about SOS Online Backup and the online backup industry. So SOS really started in 2001 in Melbourne, Australia, and it moved to the United States in Los Angeles in 2006. And from there, we've grown to a company of a little over 100 employees. We have over 500,000 active customers and over 500 active MSP partners like you guys. So you may be asking yourselves, what is driving online backup adoption in your market as well as other markets around the world? And it's four pretty critical and pretty actually simple things. One is expansion of internet bandwidth. It's much easier, faster, and cheaper to put information up in the cloud than it ever was before. And a decrease of hosted storage costs is number two. It's much cheaper to keep things in the cloud for a longer period of time and keep larger pieces of data in the cloud for a longer period of time. And also, the population is just more aware of what online backup is. And that's a good thing for you, me, and everybody involved in the industry, because it is a bit of a sticky subject to understand if you aren't really that familiar with data backup and recovery and the idea that, you know, we as businesses must protect our data somewhere. And then finally, there's been a significant increase in size and value of digital data that is being created. So like, I always use my phone as an example. I have all of my honeymoon pictures on my phone. Of course I want to back up my phone because I want to keep those pictures. I want to keep all those things safe. Now, 10 years ago, of course, that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have made digital data out of my honeymoon. It would have been film, and I would have been able to, keep that in the safe deposit box or something if I wanted to. Speaking to the decrease in hosted storage costs, another price functionality inflection point is approaching. Online backup is becoming as cheap as tape backup once was, and it's much more reliable. Can I get a show of hands out there of everyone who is using tape backup or has recently used tape backup with any of their customers? I would love to know how we're moving ahead with this transition over to online backup. So tape backup used to be cheap, and it was also on-premises, which isn't necessarily good. Online backup is just as inexpensive as tape. It's off-site. It's easy to recover from, and the software is very, very flexible. So when you're looking to sell online backup to businesses, what exactly are they looking for? Not only do they want it to be cost-effective, which we covered the reasons why it's becoming more cost-effective, but they want to be sure that it's going to back up their entire business. How many of you are using multiple software systems to back up your clients right now? This is pretty common. Businesses would like and would prefer their data to be secured by one system that backs up their workstations, servers, laptops, and mobile devices, all from one central portal. And you're going to see a demo later on of SOS Server Safe that does exactly that. So you're probably all here today because you're managed service providers and you might be interested in partnering with SOS Online Backup. These next couple slides are going to take us through what exactly the SOS 360-degree Partner Program is, and it is what we call a business in a box. You can start selling in about 3 weeks. Not only can you just sell online backup, but you can sell it online. If you don't currently have a web presence, this is a great package for you, because you will be able to develop a basic web presence with information about your company and be able to sell online backup through this website template that is delivered with your program. So you receive a website template within the SOS 360-degree Partner Program. You receive award-winning software that can back up servers, can back up workstations, laptops, and even mobile phones. You receive integrated billing within the website template, customized branding on the website template. So that means you get to choose your own colors, and you get to choose your own company's logo. You, of course, get to sell our award-winning software off of your website, and there's no hardware purchase required, which is fantastic. A lot of MSP partners out there require you to buy a several $1,000 box, especially if they have to ship it to you from maybe the United States or Europe. That might be cost prohibitive. Spencer has a great question. Is the website able to be customized so it fits within my existing website?
Yeah, we do allow you to customize it. You can change some colors, and we try and actually, make it close to what yours will look like. But yeah, you do have the ability to customize it after we deliver it to you. Yeah,
and you can also separate out the APIs, like for account provisioning, and use that within your existing website if you like to. Other features of the 360-degree Partner Program include weekly live trainings. Our partner product specialist, Derek Wood, hosts trainings on technical and administrative aspects of the program on a weekly basis. And following your sign-up, we also have a business development manager, Mike Zarudny, who will help you build your business. He'll help you with email campaigns. He'll help you with basic marketing campaigns. He'll help you start selling online backup after you sign up as a partner with us. And that's all included in the program. And of course, you get a rebranded client, rebranded sales, and marketing materials. And those are things like a basic PowerPoint presentation, disaster recovery template, so that you can go out and sell entire backup and disaster recovery solutions to your customers, not just simple online backup. The SOS 360-degree Partner Program is really in a class by itself. As I said earlier, it's a business in a box, and we call it that because it really does give you everything that you need to start selling immediately. SOS is the only program out there that includes all of these features and has more of a broad-reaching global footprint in terms of data centers than any other partner program out there. As I said, we have a rebranded client that gets your logo, rebranded marketing materials, which you're welcome to customize however you like, website template, which gets your logo, online sales capability, hosted billing, and there's no hardware required. We also offer Exchange backup, SQL backup, Windows backup included in the SOS Server Save package. And post-sale, there's business development assistance and partner support out of Los Angeles. You're probably pretty curious about our data center locations. We do have data centers around the world in the UK, specifically in London, US, Canada, Australia, India, and Ukraine. And within 2 to 4 weeks, we will have another data center in South Africa. We have a question from Spencer. Who hosts the website? Is it a subdomain of my website using a redirect, or do I host it on my server?
It's a subdomain of the SOS domain.
Yeah, and then
and then we host it.
yeah, and also those APIs are flexible and can be used pretty much wherever you like. Ruan asks, is it not possible to integrate this into my existing website, as I will be offering my services from my existing website, and to have my customers go over to another website?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. The reason why we build a website for you as a template and also host it, because we had several partners in the past who we gave them our APIs and say, hey, here you go and integrate with your website. Make sure you set up an e-commerce system to take credit card payments, all that stuff. And a lot of them were just too busy to get around to doing it. And then some of them actually didn't know APIs well enough to do the integration. So then they relied on us for help, and we didn't really give a whole lot of support for the API integration. So we wanted our partners to be able to get a front-facing page real fast so the customers could go to, get more information, and they could sign up the credit card. Money goes right into your account, not ours, and they can download software and start backing it right away. And so, yes, we do have the APIs for you if you want them. However, we do say, hey, we got a package ready to go. Here you go, and start selling. So it's up to you.
Yeah, so we don't want to do anything to prohibit you from customizing this. We don't want to do anything to prohibit you from selling as quickly as possible either. So you're able to use the APIs however you want to, and you can absolutely put them on your own top-level domain. Please let us know if that answered your question. If it doesn't, feel free to follow up with more. So the SOS product suite is a complete product suite. You can back up an entire business with SOS Server Save in particular. We offer server backup for Exchange, SQL, SharePoint, Windows, file servers, and they go straight to the cloud. We also offer workstation and laptop, what we call total endpoint protection. You can back up files and folders from all of a client's systems and restore them by individual computer if necessary. And they all go into the secure SOS cloud.
So laptops, desktops, workstations, servers, you're covered.
Yeah, all of it. Spencer asked, what about Unix servers running LAMP?
We don't have a Unix or Linux client yet. We know that people want it. Right now, what our recommendation is that you can create a network share of that Linux data. You map that to a Windows box, and then back up to the Windows machine. What's next?
So, okay, I think this is a really, really good time to talk about SOS Server Save features and benefits. I've already talked about how this is a really holistic software system, and it's able to back up an entire business. So let's talk more about that. Exchange backup and granular recovery, what does that do for you? If you don't already know and you aren't already familiar with it, that is recovery of mail, messages, and contacts, and more items within a user's inbox. Bare metal image creator, that's what we call our bare metal backup and recovery. Backup Exchange, Windows servers, SQL servers, SharePoint servers, and file servers. So this is you backing up an entire operating system and all applications on a machine. Backing it up to the cloud and then restoring a full image later on, rather quickly, I might add, and you'll see that in the demo too. Online Backup and Recovery Manager. This is the actual piece of software that takes the large bare metal images up to the cloud securely, and all of our backups are encrypted locally, in transit, and at rest in the data center. So never worry about sending anything through the cloud with SOS. Everything is secured. Workstation backup is, of course, for laptops, workstations, file servers, and files and folders. So anything on a laptop, anything on a workstation that may be critical employee data, that will be backed up with workstation backup. And then from your web integration, we've talked quite a bit about this. You guys seem pretty interested in the ability to sell online backup online on your website, so please feel free to ask more about that. We'd love to talk about it. This is a completely rebranded site and shopping cart. And when John gets into that in the demo, you're going to see how easy it is to change around content within this program. It's really just a WYSIWYG editor. So, of course, if you want to use the APIs on your own top-level domain, that doesn't really apply to you. But if you don't have a web presence, if you want to start one, there's absolutely no HTML knowledge required. It's very, very simple. And, of course, mobile backup. We will soon be releasing a generic Android client, but right now we do have a generic iPhone client that you can sell to your clients. And then that will back up all photos, videos, audio files, and applications on a mobile phone. So this may not be news to you guys, but SOS Server Save is a very, very, very different product from Carbonite and Mozy, and even from SOS Business. And the reason that we bring it up is because we want to truly differentiate this product and make it very clear that despite the fact that you're getting it for a very affordable price, which we will go over later, it is also totally in a class by itself. SOS Server Save gives you unlimited file version save, unlimited archiving, unlimited laptop and workstation protection for one simple, easy to understand price. Not a lot of other guys out there do this. We also offer bare metal backup and recovery, of course, and centralized remote management. We have a question from Ruan. Just one more thing about the site. If I were to use your complete system and website, would it be possible to host it on my own servers, on my own specific domain, as having a subdomain hosted on your domain would not benefit of branding?
The subdomain, I apologize, I made a mistake earlier. The subdomain is not part of the SOS Online Backup domain. We have a generic domain system called Managed Online Backup. It'd be a subdomain of that, so it's still held generic. So it wouldn't say the SOS name.
So it would be like ruan.managedonlinebackup.com.
Yeah, but to answer your question, the reason why we stopped letting you have your own domain is because there was we need to host the websites ourselves because of the integration that's involved when we're doing it. So that's kind of our rule. So if you want to go ahead and do the APIs on your own, you definitely can do that and host on your own, of course, creating your website. But if we're creating the site, we need to host it.
Okay, thanks, John. While we're still talking about competitors, please feel free to ask me about any of that information. I know that in South Africa, in particular, Amazon S3 is pretty popular, so please feel free to ask any questions that you have. But SOS Server Save, again, is a complete business backup solution. You get centralized management, bare metal backup and recovery, and not just any old bare metal backup and recovery. It's transactionally consistent, which is much better than crash consistent, because your data will never be backed up while it may be, for example, between transactions. We can talk more about that later if you guys aren't familiar with what transactionally consistent backup is, but it is really important, particularly if you're backing up Windows servers or SQL servers.
Yeah, SQL, yeah, Oracle, Exchange, all those things. It will, the VSS writer will detect, I'm sorry, the image creator software will detect that there's an Oracle VSS writer installed or SQL VSS writer or whatever, and it'll use that while it's backing it up.
Yeah. And, of course, among our great features, military-grade security. All of our data centers are Tier 3, Tier 4, and, of course, our data is encrypted locally in transit and at rest in the data center. So you and your clients can sleep great at night knowing that everything is backed up properly. Spencer has a question. What traditional marketing materials do you offer alongside the online stuff? Spencer, there is a great resource called the Partner Resource Center. I apologize for being redundant, but the Partner Resource Center gives you access to all of our installation user guides, email templates, which I know is online stuff, but please forgive me, that's one of the great things that's in there. PowerPoint presentations, which you could, of course, use as brochures if you wanted to. Word documents like disaster recovery plans, which you could use as brochures if you so choose to. There's a lot of information in there that is just in editable, malleable documents that you're welcome to use for whatever purpose you like. If there are any more questions on that, I'm happy to answer them. Willie asked, is there anything that eVault and Tronus, Zenith, or SOS Online Backup can do that SOS ServerSave cannot?
They can cost more.
Yeah, they can cost more and force you to buy hardware up front for thousands of dollars. They can do that.
Yeah, as far as what they can and can't do, we're trying to be as competitive as possible. But I don't really know the answer to that question as far as what they have and compared to what we don't. We tried to give you every feature, or make any feature available that they have and more. And whether we haven't done it directly within our software, but we have given that feature, made the feature available within the suite of applications of ServerSave. ServerSave is a solution, and it does include sometimes multiple applications to get the job done. So if you're talking about features, I'm more than confident that we have the feature that you need, so we're not missing anything in compared to your question, eVault and Tronus Zenith.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have a specific feature question, please ask. We'd love to talk to you about it. And again, completely agree with John. We're designing a competitive solution, so it's very feature rich, and we'll certainly stack up to these other guys. So some more information about the competitive landscape. I don't think that you'll find any of the other guys out there that have won a PC Magazine Editor's Choice Award 4 times in a row. So there's definitely that that's stacked in our favor.
Spencer has a question about, he has a Unix server full of websites that he wants to back it up. and so he just wants to clarify how that be backed up. And what we would say is, on the Unix server, share that folder, the websites in it, or multiple folders, and then make those shares available so they can be seen on a Windows box. And then just create a map drive, and then we can back up map drives, and then you do it that way.
Cool, thanks, John. So SOS Online Backup has gone over a bit of an evolution in the last 12 months. We used to be a very strictly file and folder online backup company. We did not have server backup applications or solutions. So how many of you have knew about SOS Online Backup prior to, say, like 8 months ago, back in the day when we were only a file and folder solution? Some of you may not have, and if you haven't, that's okay, because we're really proud about what we've done in the last 8 months. So we used to play in this little blue box here, which is a pretty crowded space. You've got CrashPlan, Mozy, Backblaze, Carbonite, Jungle Disk, hanging out in this file and folder online backup space, which is fine, great for endpoint protection, but we wanted to be more competitive and allow our MSPs to be more competitive as well, which is why we released SOS ServerSave. So you're going to see a demo of this, but SOS ServerSave really allows you to broaden who you're competing with and what types of businesses you're backing up. You can back up an enterprise with 500 plus employees with SOS ServerSave, and you can really, really satisfy their IT administrators and their finance staff, because often finance staff is very concerned about security issues. You can absolutely satisfy all of them with SOS ServerSave. Ruan has a question. I have a hosting company in South Africa, but catering for clients all over the world. Majority are using WordPress installations, and the SQL backups won't be a problem, and server file backups aren't a problem either. So this would be totally doable. Yeah,
I mean, if you're running on Windows, it's not a problem whatsoever. That's what we That's what we protect. We do have Mac. We have a Mac application as well. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. It is SOS branded at the moment, but we are having a generic app come out that can be branded in your name in just a few days. So look for that to come.
Cool, thanks. So data centers and infrastructure, this is something that we're really, really proud of. We have 11 global points of presence in London, Toronto, Los Angeles, Houston, Melbourne, Kiev, and Chennai. I realize that doesn't add up to 11, but we do have multiple data centers in some locations.
Well, yeah, there is 2 data centers in Dallas and then 2 in Houston. So that's actually 4, just right there, and then 1 in LA. So it gives us, 5 in the U.S. and then 1 in Toronto. That's 6.
Yeah, thanks, John. And we will be launching a South African data center, probably in Cape Town, in about the next 2 to 4 weeks. So if you do decide to come online with us now, by the time that you're ready to be up and running, that South African data center should be live, and you will be able to back up only to there if you want to, and that's an issue for you. And likewise, with the London data center or Toronto, Melbourne, Kiev, or any of our data centers, if you do need to stay within a specific geographic location, within a specific country, we can totally accommodate that. Just let your partner specialist know, and it's absolutely no problem. And this is a great time to bring up, if you don't know who your partner specialist is here at SOS, please let me know, and we will find out who that person is after the webinar.
Got a question from Spencer. I have a client who does wind farms. He wants full backups and also wants to know if his technicians, while on top of a windmill with internet access, can easily access files. The answer is yes. And he says, and these files can be locked, so only he can edit them to avoid overcopy. I just want to remind everybody, or Spencer, that this is a backup solution where we are backing up your files and the changed files. So you don't edit your files while they're backed up with us. You edit them on your machine, and then once you do that, you then back them up again, and it'll just back up the changes. So hopefully I answered your question there, Spencer.
Yeah, we do have a solution that does exactly what you're asking, but it's not yet fully released. If you can let me know who your partner specialist is, and if you don't know, that's okay. Just type "don't know," let me know that you don't know. We can definitely talk about that after the webinar because it is an option. Okay.
All right, so Spencer, okay.
We'll absolutely get to talk to you about that. Cool, okay. Again, just final point on the data centers. All our data centers are secured with 24/7 watch, video surveillance, biometric credential requirements, backup generators, temperature, and humidity controls. So they are Tier 3, Tier 4, military grade. All data will be completely safe within these data centers. Ruan, I'm sorry, Ruan. I thought that we did answer your question, but we're happy to talk about it again.
So you want to back up WordPress data, I think, Ruan. Sorry if I didn't answer your question, but I try and make it very simple. Our applications, of course, we work on Mac and Windows. So.
Okay. Okay.
We don't have a WordPress specialist, but what I was trying to say is, we back up Windows machines typically, and we can back them up as an image where we can get all data on each disk separately if you want. That can also go to the cloud, and we have no application that backs up folder and file data. So if your WordPress information or database is on a Windows box, we're definitely going to be able to back it up without a problem.
Okay, and we will definitely get you somebody to talk to offline. No problem. Okay, pricing and revenue opportunity. First thing, really exciting thing about the way that we structure our program is that, yeah, there's an entry wholesale cost, and that's it. You don't have to pay anything else beyond that. Everything is your margin. We do not limit the margin. We do not take a commission out of your margin. Everything is yours. So our entry-level plan is what we call Server Save 5, and we call it that because it gives you 5 server licenses, which you can use on any kind of server that you want. And that starts at USD $3.99 a month. We also do have some flexible ramp-up plans that we just started offering that you can ask your partner specialist about. if $3.99 a month doesn't work for you. You can add server licenses and gigabytes as you grow your business, and also business development assistance through our fantastic Mike Zarudny is available for you after you get started. So if you want to start maybe a local paid search campaign and you're not quite sure how to go about it, Mike can help you with that. Or if you want to construct a brochure, but you just want a little extra help and you want to bounce your ideas off of somebody, Mike is there for that. And we're happy to do that for you because we want you to be successful.
Another question here. What about large initial backups? Do you support USB backup for the large initial backup, and then from then on only incrementals get backed up over the net? So we have something what we call PMU, which means physical immediate upload. So if you wanted to, what you'd be able to do is send us an image of that machine. We will then do the first full backup for you, but in that meantime, we'll ask you to halt all backups at your local site because we don't want that to create more versions of it before we're done. But anyway, we'll do the first backup for you. While we're doing that, we're generating a little database file. We're creating some cache, and once the backup is finished, we'll send you that drive back. You'll copy a small amount of data back to your physical system, and then start your backup, and it'll be just do incremental files from then on. Now that process takes some time, especially if you're going to ship it to us here in the States to have that done. So depending on how large your data is, and also depending on how fast your Apple connection is, you may or may not want to use that service. It may be faster to wait for the month it might take to get it uploaded. But yeah, there is that possibility. As far as the image backups, that does not go off the cloud automatically. You set it up, you back up, and you save the files to a local device or local network share on site. And that's your local backup. So it'll happen every day or throughout the day, whatever you like. And you choose if those go off site. And we have another application, which is the Only Backup and Recovery Manager. That is online only. And so if your question in regards to that, then either you just back up online and you wait until it's finished, or you could use our PMU process, which you ship it to us.
Greg says, can we back up all ends of local HDD and cloud?
Yeah, so yeah, that definitely is possible. And if you want more details on that, just we can reach out to you, Greg, and I'll explain how that's done. It's not a problem.
Cool. So back to the pricing. The pricing is very, very simple. You can enter at any of these points, and like I said, we have flexible ramp-up plans, and the margin is yours to make. Sky's the limit. And we have business development assistance to help you grow. Is this all clear? Our partner specialists can help explain it to you further and help customize plans for you. But if you have any questions right now, I'm more than happy to answer them. And if there aren't, then we'll move on to the demo, which I think everybody's probably pretty excited about.
I know I am.
And again, you guys may have seen this in the invitation, but we are doing a drawing for a Kindle, and you do need to ask a question in order to be entered to win the Kindle. I think a lot of you already have asked questions, but please do. We love answering questions.
Or we just like to talk a lot. You know?
We just like to hear ourselves talk. That's why we do this. All right.
Okay, so questions are fine. Gentlemen, I tend to speak fast on the demos because I know most of you are pretty technical, and I don't want you getting bored, and I really want you to see this and get excited. So if I am going too fast and you don't get, please just ask lots of questions. I'll slow down and I'll go back, and I'm sure everybody would love to hear your question as well, so don't be shy. So I'm just going to make myself a presenter, and then hopefully everybody should be able to see my screen.
I see it.
Okay, great. Okay, so I got a demo machine here in front of me, and it's Windows Server 2008 R2. Our application, our Online Backup and Recovery application, will run on XP and later all OSs, no problem. The Image Creator application, which is actually backing up as an image on a schedule, will work for Windows 2000 and later. However, Windows 2000 doesn't use BSS, so you wouldn't get any BSS backups from Windows 2000. But typically, we're on XP and later on most things. And I did see it in later. It does work for SBS 2011 without an issue, so no problem there. So what I want to show you here first is the partner dashboard. This is new, and we have just one place where you can go and log in. This is just for the partner, and you can see we have updates and news. We update it all the time with information like, hey, new webinar coming up. Come and join it. Maybe you forgot some information. Maybe you're having a hard time selling this, or you want some tips. There we go. We're trying to advertise that. We also release when we update our software, so you can know that too. We tell you, hey, you want some help? Go to your dashboard. Look, there's a phone number here. I can call the partner support hotline and get help right now. Gentlemen, I make this kind of important because we know that but our partners want support. They don't want to go into a regular support team and get level 1 guys who don't know the answers to their questions. So you can call that. They're highly available. And then we also have chat too. Some of you like using the chat. You just go to our website, start a chat session, and get assistance right away. So first thing I want to show you very, very simply is you see here under online backup and recovery, there's several buttons there to look at. Add new account, view full list, create backup account, rebranding, all these things here. So very simply, if you want to start backing up for a customer, you go here, you hit add new account. This will go into the backend web integration package if you have it. If you don't, I'll show you that next. But basically, you fill out this form, you select the gig size at the bottom, and then you just create an online backup account for your customer. And let's say they also want to do the bare metal image backup with Exchange recovery. You go in here, you assign that username to one of the available licenses. And that's it. You now create an account for online backup, which is good for many machines for online backup. And then you now have assigned the licenses for backup as an image. After you do so, you just click on this big green box here, download SOS Backup Client. And this is actually going to download the server save executable. Let me see here. Let me move this to the side. And what we have here for you, we have the server save executable right here because we want you to be able to basically have some ways of easily downloading the software, installing it, and licensing it. So this is a user account I just created. I log in here. And when I log in, we have these 4 icons. These icons, when I click on them, yeah, they'll launch the program, but that's not what this is for. This is where you actually click on the icon. If it's not installed, it'll download it, install it, and get you up and running faster. And then for this particular customer, you see license details. Here's a license key for bare metal image creator. Here's a license file for EGR. So that's how easy it is to get you basically, create an account for a customer, give them licenses, and install it, and get going. There's a couple other buttons here. Set up online backup. We're giving you suggestions. The file server, you probably want to do both. Backups, support and manage. These things are all redundant within the online backup recovery manager as well. So let's start that. We're going to go right to the image creator. This is part of our folks over at StorageCraft. They're our partner, and we use their Shadow Protect software for our bare metal image creator. And this software is designed to back up your partitions and your disks as an image. The first time, it'll create one full backup, and then only incremental images going forward. That's a huge benefit to you because you don't have to worry about a big file going into the cloud every single time. It's just going to be an incremental image. It's much faster, obviously. So we're here just for the demo. I'm going to select just the E drive because it's faster for demoing it. But you can see I can select my C drive, my E drive, my F drive, whatever I want here. I'm going to get a full image for each of those disks, and then incremental is only going forward. Now, our recommendation here is that you actually do set up a network share for each server. And you type in the credentials here. You can go to a NAS if you want to. However, we recommend that you go to a Windows machine because a Windows machine will let you upload those images to the cloud much faster than a NAS, obviously, because we don't have to go to the NAS, bring it to the Windows machine, and upload it. Additionally, if you want to do a fast recovery of any of your files inside the images, you can mount them much faster, of course, on the Windows machine. You can also use what we call virtual boot. It's a right-click feature you can use on a later version of the software that's free, where you can boot any of your images as a virtual machine instantly right there on site. We also perform the same feature in our cloud for you at a cost to boot up a virtual machine in our cloud and then we give you, access to connect to it. And that also helps with getting customers back up and running. It could be, let's say they lose the entire building, and you've lost all your local backups. You then would come to us, say, hey, John, we lost the building. Can you please give me a cloud boot of our Exchange server? No problem. We'll get it back up and running. Here's the IP address. Go and change your DNS. Okay. Additionally, you can also have it go to a local drive. We do this for the demo because it's much faster. However, going to a local drive could give you some issues. It could, people would know where the backup drive is for your server, maybe steal it. It could be burned up in the server room, something like that. But going to like a Windows desktop there at the business is usually more cost effective. You don't have to buy a new machine, and nobody knows where the backup files are being stored. You see I've selected continuous incrementals for my backup job. We promote this because our partners love it. They think it's the best. Our partner StorageCraft recommends it as the best because it only creates one full backup the first time. There's no need to run incremental backups. There's no need to run lots of full backups weekly or monthly. That's an old school methodology in regards to tapes. You did that because you can only afford maybe 7 tapes, maybe 8 tapes, one for every day, one for the month. So, and they were limited on size, and they were expensive. We're using disk backup now, disk storage, so we can do one full backup, and we can let that incrementally increase with our incrementals. So that's recommended, and you can use that solution or that strategy up to maybe 6 months or a year, and after that you can execute another full backup and continue on from there. So there's no issue with that. And the reason why we also suggest it is because it uses the least local and online storage space, and it requires the least amount of maintenance from you. If you're just doing incremental backups and they're small, you don't have to go and constantly monitor the backups locally and online and purge those out to save space. So you can wait, and this saves you more time, therefore not wasting your time. I hope you know what I meant by that, because I've been in the backup space as an IT guy, and if you set up a solution and there's an issue with the tapes in the software, you always have to go back on site and go and fix it, and you can't charge for it, and that's tough. What we have here is there's a top portion of this and a bottom portion. The top portion is saying I only want one incremental backup per day. That's it. And this is not a full. It's one incremental only. Or you might have a customer that needs multiple incremental backups per day, like in the bottom, where it can run every hour, or maybe every 15 minutes. And that might be a critical customer for you, or they might have a database where maybe they're a bank, and they need backups every 15 minutes. No problem. You're going to have 2 kinds of customers, some that want lots of backups, and they understand it'll cost more local storage and online. Some that can't afford that, no, just give me one incremental backup per day. That's the difference here in the top and bottom portion. So obviously everybody understands this. I have no questions, so that's good. We get to the options screen of the backup job. If you want to, you can enter a password or a password file if you don't remember the password. Once you do so and you click on Advanced, you're able to actually choose your encryption algorithm right here. The more advanced options are commands. You can put in some scripts here. You might have some databases of a customer that don't stop and start themselves when a backup happens, or they must be stopped before a backup happens. So you put a script in here to do that for you. On the Image tab, we have the self-healing. This is pretty great. It does have self-healing built in. What that's meant to do is, if an incremental backup is taking place and it has an issue or a problem where it can't complete the backup, it's going to say, hey, this backup's no good. I'm going to purge it because I don't want to corrupt the chain of backups. Next time the backup runs, self-healing will be turned on. It'll run a differential backup, which is like running a full backup, but not quite. And then once that's done, it'll say, great, I got everything I need. I'm not going to shrink this down to an incremental, making it the proper size. So you don't have to worry about your hard drive filling up. On the backup tab, you see we have performance throttling. So if anybody had any issues or they're worried about the backup taking up all the resources, while during the day, and people complaining about it with the server slow, you can fix that right there. And then, of course, we do recommend the MD5 checksum verification file. We do also recommend that you use the split file option, maybe 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabytes, but we recommend it because you don't want to be uploading your first full backup into 100 gigs, and if you lose the power, you start all over again. So you use the split option, and maybe split into 50 pieces. We're going to back up the 50 pieces to the cloud, and let's say you lose the power in the middle of it. Well, we've rebacked up half of those files. When the power comes back on, we'll start at number 26, or move on from where we left off. So that's a big concern most people have, so we'd like to also give you that recommendation as well. One more thing on the compression, there is standard and high. We recommend what our partner recommends. If you want to use high, go ahead and do it. We have to have a recommendation as far as liability reasons, and so we recommend theirs. Okay, so while it's running, there's a couple of different ways you can do a restore. There is the restore wizard here. This lets you restore any disk or drive that's not the C drive. Obviously, you can't restore the C drive while you're in Windows. There is a recovery environment ISO for that. And that ISO can be used in a virtual environment. It can also be used to burn to a disk. And you are able to restore your images to the same hardware, dissimilar hardware, and virtual environments. These images are compatible with VMware, so you can use the VMware Converter tool to do so. However, the recovery environment ISO using that to recover the image to a virtual machine actually is faster than the conversion. So that works for Hyper-V and anything else. Okay, so it looks like our backup job may have failed there, and maybe it's due to hard drive space, gentlemen. Sorry about that. And it is my fault. I apologize. So basically, you can see I have a bunch of images here, that we've already backed up in the past, and these are all incrementals, as you can see. And I can right-click on any of these and go mount or quick mount. This is the same option as using the Explore Backup button right here. So what I want to do here is I want to quick mount, and you can do this mounting option even if the files were on a NAS or a network location. The software is installed. I have file association with it, so I can use that right-click feature. So after I've mounted one of my images, you can see that I have this G drive up here, and it has my Exchange folder in there. And I can open this up, and I can pull out a folder or a file, anything I need to. Now, while it's mounted, I can also do an Exchange recovery. So we're kind of done with the software here. A couple more things real quickly. Backup history, backup job, I can edit that. Destinations, if I have any. There's options here, agent options. I want to do a backup report for a success failure, maybe both. That's added. And I can also do a granular recovery of images by right-clicking on them. Now that I have all my images mounted, I want to do an Exchange recovery. So I'm going to launch EGR, which is Exchange Granular Recovery. I'm going to connect to the EDB file inside that mounted image, right here. You see onto the G drive. It finds the transaction logs. And then I can also make a live connection to my target Exchange server on site. It doesn't have to be on the same server. However, this one's set up to be in the same one, but it can be a different place. You do need to have Outlook installed. It doesn't need to be licensed, just installed, and you never have to even open it if you don't want to. But you can see I've now connected these mailboxes because I do have full access rights to do so. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to simulate a recovery, but before doing a live recovery to the Exchange database, I can right-click and I can do a kind of an export of any of these items here. I could also expand this, and I could export maybe a message or something like that. Typically, you're not going to be doing that too much because you're going to do a live recovery. So I'll simulate for you where user one, not loser one, sorry about that, guys. Let's say he lost his message from user 2 or loser 2, and you need to get it back. So click on the mailbox user 1. I use the search box here, magnifying glass. Type in the keyword in the email. Type in it was from user 2. Hit find now, and I can just drag this message. I can open it and read it if I need to. There's an attachment there I can pull out. But I'm just gonna do a live recovery. I'm just gonna drag it down here to the inbox and let go. It's not doing a live recovery of that. If that message is already there, it'll say duplicate message not copied. The same drag and drop method is good for any item within these mailboxes, calendar, contacts, whatever it is, entire mailbox. You can drag it down there and recover the mailbox. If it's not there, it'll say, hey, the mailbox doesn't exist. Do you want to build it? You want to create it? Sure, no problem. Same thing for the entire database. Drag it down to the server name, rebuild everything. So this is good for full database recovery. It's good for database migration of Exchange. Not a problem. Very simple to use. Very powerful. We have a question here. Do you have full tutorials and explanations for non-Windows guys like me, or provide hand-holding for the first few accounts? Absolutely. We will provide hand-holding. We do have a complete server-side user guide that walks through setting up of all the applications. Absolutely, no problem. Thanks for the question. Okay, so we're done with EGR. No questions on that. So we're going to go over to the Online Backup Recovery Manager. We're very proud of this. We completely re-engineered the uploader and the recovery agent for this guy here, and before we were faster than all of our competitors because we didn't throttle you. we even had people backing up from the United States to an Australian data center at full bandwidth, and they were surprised that you could back up that fast to Australia that far away because we don't throttle. That's one of the benefits of SOS is we're fast. Well, being that we're already super fast than our competitors, we made ourselves even faster. This uploader right here is 40% faster than the previous online backup SOS online backup uploader. So what we do is instead of copying your files to your hard drive first and compress, encrypt, and zip, we now skip all that and we just push to the cloud and we compress and encrypt as we're sending. So that's how we get that 40% gain. Okay, very simply, this is only a couple steps. Now the first thing I want to show you here is you see this is like this wizard that we're going through. It's fine. Wizards are good even for IT guys. Now you see we have scan all folders. Now if you want to roll this out to lots of your customers, you want to use this feature here. It'll save you lots of time. All you have to do is configure the extensions that you want to scan for. Now we've already selected a bunch for you. You can see here on this exclamation circle or icon, we've already have a bunch of extensions listed there that you simply you checking the documents, it'll get backed up. So let's say you want just documents and you want to go hit edit here and you want to add some more extensions, no problem. Or you can exclude some folders, you can exclude some files. This will help you get this deployed fast and make sure all the file extensions you want are backed up without even involving the user or how you having to log back in and reconfigure it. And you can give you an MSI to do so. Or you can say, hey, for whoever the login user is, I want to make sure all these things are backed up. If you're an IT freak like I am, or a control freak rather, and you want to just select it yourself, you go here, you select your folders and files you want to back up, maybe a file on your desktop like I have here. Let me just go and just change this a little bit here. Add some characters, maybe I'll save it. And I also want to back up my images. So from one place, I can back up my user data. I can back up my images on the F drive. I can also back up map drives. I can back up USB drives. We don't restrict you like some of our competitors do. Now, one thing I forgot to do is I forgot to dismount one of my images. Now, after you're done looking at them, you want to dismount them because we can't back them up if they're mounted. It'll be a block. All right, so hit next here. That's it. That's all you have to do to set up a backup. And then next screen is just your frequency, hourly, maybe daily, weekly, monthly. You may want to have it back up while you're logged off of Windows. Enter that information in there. Type in your email address for a report. If any files don't get backed up, the report will tell you which files they were after it's finished. Okay. And then finished, that's it. You've now set up your backup and actually started it. If you didn't want to start it, there's a box you uncheck to just run the scheduled time. And you can see it's running down here in the tray. And I'll show you guys that real quickly. The backup already completed, actually. It's already backed up all the files that we did previously. However, the text document was a little different. So it backed that up real fast for us. But as far as all the images, it did back them up because it did previously. And we did have that one backup job fail on Shadow Protect because I ran out of free space. That's my fault. We do lots of demos and I have to clean it up. So what I can do in this case is, let's say I want to start over from scratch, and I can go delete these. The reason why I'm doing this is I feel you guys might want to see this. You're like, hey, the backup job failed. That's kind of a drag. Now, if that were to happen, I'm going to get an email anyway saying, hey, Shadow Protect couldn't back up. I got a failure. And you're like, great. Okay, job failed. I'm going to go and look. I'm going to go and see what's happened. I'll go to backup history. It's going to tell me what happened, and I'll have it right in here. And so what I can do is I can go in here. I can just go execute, and it's going to start the job right now and do it for me. Typically, you're going to have a bigger local drive than 10 gigabytes like I did. So anyway. Moving on, we do have local backup built into the software itself. It's not image-based backup software. This is designed to do local backups of PCs, not servers. It's not going to be as efficient as Shadow Protect. So if you do want local backup and have it encrypted, that can work for you as well. But most people for workstations and laptops, they do only backup because it's much easier. It goes to the cloud, and local backups can maybe cause a headache for some of your local users if they don't understand what's going on. We do have a couple different restore options. We have basically 4 different ways of recovering files. we do the Restore Wizard. You would use the Restore Wizard to recover a folder based on date. So you can see a calendar here with some bold dates. You hit Next. You will be able to recover data from multiple systems. Check this out. One backup account can back up multiple systems, and I can do a simultaneous recovery. So I can say, I'm not on these other servers here. I mean, I want to recover a folder from Wagner, from that machine, and I can select that. I'll do. Let's say I just do the desktop. I'll just do one file. Okay, make it real fast for you guys. And then I want to recover another folder from this machine here. I'm doing this because I don't need to be on those machines to do a recovery. So I'm going to show you, but I'm also recovering information from multiple systems at once. And so here's my summary. I can then choose my location. I want the original path, so I want to choose a new location so I don't have any long file names. If I go up here to default location, I could then be actually extending the original file names upon recovery. So I don't want that to happen because I have this box checked down here. And I'm going to recover to like the root of the hard drive or something like that. It will go like the C drive there, and we'll just hit OK. Now, when I do this with this recovery, I'm going to create a folder name. 2 folders actually. Create a folder for each machine that I'm doing the recovery of, and that way it's organized. So look at it, it's all finished here. We have a folder right here that says Lasso Demo, okay? And then we have the original location, the original path. That's an MD5 file. Sorry about that. But it still recovered what I wanted. And I also have a folder called Wagner. And there's going to be a file in there, original path. There we go, there's the file. Okay, that's pretty cool. Any questions so far on the recovery, guys? Want to make sure you all were following along okay. I'm going fast on purpose. As IT guys get bored if we already know something. But I just want to make sure if you have any concerns or questions. Our job here is to help you decide to buy this and become a partner so you're comfortable with it. So that's my job, what I'm trying to do. We're going to go to the Classic View. You see I did the same thing here, but this is a little different. Classic View is where I can delete folders and files. You can right-click and delete. You can expand anything you want here, but you can also see versions. That's also the difference in this. Classic View is I don't want to recover an entire folder, but I want a version of a file. So I'm going to go down here to Wagner. I'm going to show you that I can actually have a drop-down for a version. See right here, date and time. Okay, I can click on that, and I can do restore if I want to. The restore process is the same. In this case, I'll do it the opposite way. I don't want the original path. I just want the file back. So default location, I hit OK. And very quickly, we're going to decrypt the file, decompress it, and give it back to you. That's already done. That's pretty fast. And there's the file right there in that folder. Okay, a couple more recovery methods. We have online recovery, meaning, through our website. So we have a generically branded domain. You can see right here, it says myaccount.manage.backup.net. Now, when you log in as a user that's been rebranded or from one of your customers, it's going to launch your logo and your name. It will not say SOS, I promise. And then you can see here, I see all my systems, and I can actually click on those and do a recovery. So same thing as before. I can go here, I can go browse, right-click on the systems, and I see them all here. And I can do the same thing. I look at all my information. And I'm going to go here, and I want to look at what I have here. I can do a recovery. I can recover or share any folder or file up to 500 megabytes. That is limited because it is using a web browser. If you want to recover anything larger than 500 megabytes, you just use the software client. And you can install it anywhere you like, any computer, and you log in with using a password. You can be at your office, their office. It does not matter. So right here you can see that I have multiple versions of this document. And I can drop this down, I can pick the earlier version, and they can share it. Now, sharing is pretty great because you now can get a file to a user that was backed up and encrypted. You can get it to them probably under a minute. They get an email with a link to then download that folder or file. This little template here will allow you to type an email message. Here is that file you lost. Kind of a little joke. Type in there, their first name, their email address, type in the name of a file, and hit share. And then they're going to get an email. If it's a folder, it'll be a zip file, but it's still a link. They're not getting any attachments. So as an IT guy, I used this feature before I even became an employee 5 years ago, and I was able to get files to users. Even my taxes are an accountant. We had a customer that wasn't an accountant. They had lost this database for QuickBooks. Can you get it to me? I then went to my phone, and I wasn't on a computer. I went to my phone, and I went to m.manage.backup.net. And I was able to log in. I spelled that wrong, gentlemen. Pardon me. And I went to my phone. I logged in as that customer, and I'm still not typing this correctly.
Online backup.
This one, is, unless they change it, m.managed. I'm spelling it wrong, aren't I? Managed. Offsite backup.net. There we go. So I logged in as that user, and I actually was able to find the QuickBooks database that he wanted, and I just clicked share next to it, and he got the link of that in like under a minute, and he was very, very happy because he was able to open it up and do a quick restore and back up and running again. So same thing. I noticed it is stretched out here, but it's stretched out because it's meant to be on a phone, but I'm showing you this, on a browser. But I'll do the same thing here. I can go to machine. See, hey, look here, our backup finished good. I can go to one of the machines here. I can drill down. I can find a file. This will always give you access to the latest version. There's no version drop down here, but we always assume you want the latest version anyway. So you see here, here's that document again. I click on it, and then I get download or share. And share is the same thing. Email address pops up, and then share the file. So pretty great that you can do that. It saves a lot of time. One more thing in here I want to show you. I forgot to show you was the reporting. There's two kinds of reports in here. The summary of all your machines, total amount of data backed up. There's also another report that gives you basically backup history on a date range that you choose. Here we go. We have a summary of all of our systems and total amount of backup space. Let's hear. We got some UK. It's interesting. Just understand price. Okay. So Shaylin will handle that one?
Yeah, Spencer, I actually looked it up while John was chatting with everybody, and it looks like it is Ashton. So he will give you a call right after we're done with this webinar here.
We got another one that says, and I'd like to know what question was for the Kindle. What we mean by that is we want you to ask a question about the software or the service.
Which most of you already have.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about there. Back to the partner dashboard. For your online backups, we do have central monitoring for those. So this is for online backups, and you can see here we have lots of red lights here. Now, I know this looks bad to you because we're showing you a demo what's wrong, is your software broken? No, it's not. As an IT guy, you want to see one place, one dashboard, all your systems you're protecting, and you want to see what's failed or what's bad first. Now, this isn't necessarily bad. If you look at this, we say failed and then completed. Yeah, it's red. Over on the right, it says no backups during the last week. Now that can mean that we had last backup failed to complete, there's an issue, or if you look like lower here, we have completed, it's still in red, but no backups during the last week. Last backup completed successfully. That's good news. But this might be telling us, hey, maybe the server's off, or maybe someone uninstalled the software, or I don't know, whatever it is. But this is going to help you determine where the problems are and get them fixed quick. Now on the next page, we have some orange lights and some green lights. Orange is meaning, hey, backup just recently completed with some errors, or maybe hasn't backed up in 3 days. And green means all good. Okay. Now, the last thing I want to show you here is, here's an example of one of the rebranded websites that we've built. You can see here we have client login at the bottom. It is a template, so you can see, there's several buttons at the top that we can click. There's sign up now on the front page there. If a customer, I can log in and get my files or share my files. I can go and sign up. Again, we build these for you so you can get them running much faster. The customer can go here and sign up for an account, pay for it with PayPal Pro or with a credit card. The money goes into your account, not ours. We don't get any money from this. We're trying to help you get up and running faster so you can get going with the rest of your business.
Yes, when we talked about really an unlimited margin for you guys, this is why. You're welcome to sell our product for whatever you like and make however much you like.
Yeah, that's true. So there's a support page here. They can fill out a ticket here. And then in the web migration package, if you choose to get it, you would be able to, excuse me, just go in here, view full list, or there's several buttons of getting in there. And there's a support tickets section right here, view support tickets, and you'd be able to open that up and then respond to them accordingly. Somebody asked about earlier about changing the website. We have a content section here, allow you to edit the pages if you want to. There's coupon codes if you want to give those out for discount. You can view your plans. You can change the pricing. You can make them active or inactive. You can give out free trials. let's see here. There's a mass emailing tool. Under this mailer, you see we have the mailer dashboard, subscriber groups, subscribers, campaigns, sign-up forms, templates. These are all for the mass emailing. If you want a mass email, hey customers, let's sign up. Or maybe all your free trial users, you want to tell them there's a new special you're running. We give you the ability to do it right here if you choose to get the Web Integration package. And then under here, backup users, you can see you can change this. These you basically arrange this based on date if you want to, your status, email address, and you can go and view more actions, and you can upgrade their account if you want to them. You can edit some details, reset a password, email address. You can view the details. You can see how much they're backing up. This guy hasn't backed anything up yet, but it's quite extensive and detailed in here for you if you need to use it. That's kind of the summary. Now, again, I want to remind you, I went fast because I just didn't want you to be bored. I'm the same way, or get through it. So hopefully everybody, was able to hear me okay and understand and follow along. If you could, a couple of you could mention something there in the questions box. Let me know you understood it okay, and if you liked it, you hated it. I do want the feedback if you can. Ask me any questions or concerns. I'm kind of done because I want to give you a brief overview.
And of course, this isn't your one-stop shop to seeing the software. You're absolutely invited to have one-on-one perusals and demos later on.
We have a question. Does this back up Mac machines, and is there a Mac client executable that you can download? So we do have a Mac client. Yes, we do. It's on our website, and you can download it. You just go to SOSOnlinebackup.com, and you would go to, let me just show you guys. You go to support right here, and then go to downloads, and then you see Mac right there. We usually have said, it's a good idea, to try and use this on 10.6 and later, and it'll back up just fine. It can back up external drives as well. And we are having, we are going to have a Mac version for our partners coming out any day, probably the middle of this month, which is probably the 13th around there, where it'll of course be branded. So I know you haven't signed up yet, but I just want to tell you, you may be worried about that. Yes, it's going to be available for you, no problem. Even after you become a partner, you're going to get that. Let's see, we have another question here. Does this back up SQL Express or only SQL Server? Now, in regards to backing up databases, some of them need to be backup transaction consistent, and some of them doesn't matter. My focus right here is going to be on the ones that need to be backup transaction consistent. Now, in regards to that, our bare metal image creator, yes, no problem with VSS backing up databases, transaction consistent, not a problem. That can work for SQL Express, for SQL, it doesn't matter. However, the online backup recovery agent, it does use VSS, but it doesn't use the SQL VSS writer. So what we recommend is, if you're not going to do any bare metal backups of a SQL Server or just the disk, and you only are going to use online backup, which I would say, hey, you need to have local backups anyway of your servers, even if SQL's on it. So I wouldn't say don't ever not do that. But in regards to your question, we feel that since over the years, some of our competitors and some of our partners have told us that online backup has issues backing up SQL databases where they feel it doesn't do it correctly or good enough. And so our recommendation has always been to use the built-in SQL backup application in SQL and create a backup in there. Tell it to use the same file name every day and maybe append or overwrite, and we'll back that up. And we'll treat that as just an extra version and won't charge you extra for it. And that works the best. You're guaranteed to have the best backup you can have. So I've got another one. Great solutions. I'm very interested. Your complete solution does sound more like the perfect fit after seeing the demo site you designed. Okay, great. Another one here. I understood the brief technical overview as much as I could given the speed at which it was presented. Would it be possible to get the pricing slide emailed to me, please? Absolutely. We'll get that to you right away, especially the partner pricing. Thanks for a good webinar. Part 2 was very fast, like we were told it would be, like a wall of sound, and hope you would get over a cold soon. Thank you very much. Very interested. Thank you very much. Yeah, again, we do it fast. Typically, the partners in the past do these webinars. They tend to get bored, and we see the attendance fall off. When we go too slow. So
yeah, and for specific questions or a one-on-one demo later, just let us know and schedule it with us, and you can probably get maybe more out of it and get more questions answered if you had more specific questions.
Yeah, and then if you, once you work with your sales rep and you tell them, hey, I want to talk with the sales engineer, or I want to talk with John again, he'll just get me on the phone right there in the office. If I'm not available, you might have to wait maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes or an hour, or we'll schedule a time. But yeah, if for those of you that it was too fast for that, I understand. Some people listen fast or listen slow with their brain works, but it all works. There's no handicap there, just how we all take information in. So please let me know, and I'll go through one-on-one with you. Not a problem.
Okay. Spencer, we will definitely have that scheduled for you. And
Okay.
Greg has a question. If GhostPress does not have a backup option, in that there is no function, so what is the workaround for that?
Well, the workaround for that is, I mean, if you're using the image creator to back up your disk where SQL Express is on, it's still going to use VSys to back it up. So if you feel that I don't actually know if SQL Express has a VSys writer. I think you can install VSys writer, but even with SQL Express, you can still install the SQL Management Studio. And I've seen in the past, and then correct me if I'm wrong, and I apologize if I am, but in the past, I've been able to install SQL Management Studio and older SQL Express databases and still use the backup feature within that, because SQL Management Studio is free. However, if that doesn't work out for you, you'll be able to get a crash-consistent copy of the SQL Express database, which is still use VSS, still back up while it's open, but doesn't mean it's going to get all the transactions while it's backing it up. Let's see here. If I'd like to schedule that towards the end of the month.
Cool.
Okay, great.
No problem.
Got that, Spencer?
We'll have Ashton do that with you.
Gentlemen, I see all of you are paying lots of attention. That's great. I really do appreciate it. Any questions or concerns you might have, our job is to excite you about this and get you going. Let us know.
Yeah, and for those of you that are in South Africa, again, I want to mention that we're looking to have a South African data center probably in Cape Town in the next 2 to 4 weeks. So if you do sign up this month, by the time you're ready to go, we should have that data center. All right, I think it looks like everyone's signing off. Okay, Greg would like to talk to someone about pricing options. We'll have someone call you right after we sign off here. If there are any more questions, we'll hang out for 30 seconds or so more. If not, okay. Ruan says he's looking at ServerSafe 5.
Excellent.
Great. Great starting point. Okay. Ruan's wondering how many server licenses you need for backing up WordPress installation.
All right, Ruan, I just want to remind you, with online backup, that's the storage base. There's no licensing for that whatsoever. You can install our software on all Windows machines and Macs and not be charged per machine. It's just storage. But if you are wanting backing up your servers as an image, where it's a local backup, everybody needs to have local backup on their servers and online backup. So if you're not using anything, if you're using Windows backup, you want a better solution, use what we have. So if you want backup as an image locally, that requires a license. So hopefully you can calculate that. It's basically one license per server. But if you're just doing online backup only, it's not license-based. You just need to buy enough storage to cover all your customers and servers and machines, and desktops, laptops. If you tell Ruan as long as the files in DB is backed up, then you can restore. Okay, yeah, Ruan, he's just trying to. Another one of our customers here is just trying to tell you that you can back up the database files itself, and then you can restore. It's a little bit easier. So then we're going to say I work in web design and deal with this regularly. He's feeling comfortable with that. Okay, great.
Cool.
Okay, great. All right, gotcha. Cool. I mean, lots of thanks. You did a good job.
Well,
appreciate that.
We appreciate it, and please don't hesitate to reach out at any point, and we hope that we get you in touch with your partner specialist here soon in the next 10 minutes or so after this demo is over.
Yeah, we are completely staffed right now. All of our sales reps are standing by. So if you want to call someone right now, we do have our regular sales line. It's on the website right in front of me. You can see, and the screen's being shared.
Yeah.
It's 877-896-3611.
Well, internationally, actually, they can't call in on that.
Oh, sorry about that.
So here, I'll type it into chat. It is +1 310 878 2626. I will send to all.
Yeah, again, that's +1 310 878 2626, and you just you want business sales, partner sales, whatever it is, and
Okay.
you're going right away.
Yep. Spencer, Ashton's going to call you. All right. I think that we're all good to wrap up. Thank you all so much for your participation and joining us this morning.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.